Hello, everybody. My guest today is Aiko Scherer. He's addicted to mobile products and services after more than 15 years in different executive roles in media and entertainment, product development for leading publishers and brands. With his agency Clapp, started tchop as an MVP project about 3 years ago. We're going to talk about tchop today. Aiko, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah. So shall I give you a brief introduction?
Yeah. So tell us about tchop. What do you do and how do you make money?
Yeah, I mean, we make money as a typically software as a service platform. So we provide enterprises, agencies, small teams with a platform that enables them to provide mobile communication services, both content and live chat, to customers, employees. So we cover a broad range of use cases. So while you have a lot of platforms that focus on employee apps or intranet, we have a mobile first focus, and you can use it both we have clients that use it for like 20,000 employees, but we also have clients that use it for certain stakeholders or for their management, because in the end, what we cover is like the main thing, as enterprises struggling, providing high value content in a nice way with a good user experience to the mobile phones of their target group. Because technically it's a pretty complex thing. So we provide them with everything they need.
So just to be clear, if there's a team of 100 people and 5 people are on the marketing team, and those 5 people have created PowerPoint decks, Instagram images, sample contracts, all this stuff, they can upload all that to tchop and use each other's stuff quickly?
Exactly. So we are very much based on the idea of what we call integration, which of course is very much inspired by the way Slack is doing. So you can very easily, we have an input API where you can input RSS feeds, social media feeds, all kinds of content automatically and just very easily curate them. So we are very much, our ideas about the idea of curation is not so much about recreating everything, because we believe most teams have all that content out there. It's like, it's all there in digital form with different sources and platforms. So it's very much about curating and integrating them. So
but Aiko, is this an intranet? I mean, is this an internal tool teams use, or they're actually using it, they're publishing content to customers?
Both. You can use both. We have clients that have an application that fosters free content without login, but our main core focus is closed user groups.
I see.
But the thing is, we're not like a full intranet, because we believe most of these intranet platforms end up incredibly complex and bloated with features. So we very much focus on we are just like a lean layer where you can like implement all different kinds of feeds into a very nice user experience. And it's very easy to hook up. And it's not covering all these things as an intranet, because most of our clients already have something like an intranet, but it just sucks on mobile.
Yeah, I mean, I use, for this thing, for our team, it's a small marketing team. I mean, we just use Google Drive, right? So how, we upload all this stuff there. So how are you different?
Well, yeah, we are not so much. We are very much focusing on news and content. So not about like dealing, if you're like, or more like focusing on files, then you can, there's nothing else you need in Google Drive. We're also using that. It's amazing. But if it's about like, let's say you want to follow all the different news feeds, internal feeds, things from different sources, there's, it's a bit like, Feedly in the consumer market. In Feedly, you can also aggregate all kinds of sources, but it's difficult to distribute it then in a professional way. And in our case, you can really combine these things in a very, very easy and lean way. So in a lot of cases, we have like companies that have like a very mobile workforce, and they are looking for something that lets them distribute up-to-date daily news, about all different kinds of news to their workforce without limited resources.
Got it.
You can do it with very, very small resources, because most other tools are very complex. So you need a big team and a long time to implement it. So it's very lean and efficient.
And so give me, I don't want to talk about every single customer cohort, but on average, what do customers pay for the platform?
The platform, we have a very simple traditional, whatever all the software service tools have. We have a price per customer, price per invited user. And usually it's somewhere between 50 cents and €1, depending upon the amount of users. So if we have customers that have like 15, 20,000 employees, so they pay roughly about, let's say, 10K euros per month. So this is something there. It's a very robust model.
So what's an Aiko? So just, I don't want to go at the seat level, but I don't want your biggest enterprise account. On average, when a company joins you, is it like 10, like what's the average per month?
Okay. Average, I would say, is between 2 and 5,000. So we also have like the traditional mid-sized company, we have lots of mid-sized companies in Europe and also especially in Germany, which is like, still driven by the owner, 2,000-3,000 people, not even having an own IT department, but having a mobile workforce.
So Aiko, just to be clear, that when a new logo joins you, on average, they might pay somewhere between 2,000 and 6,000.
Exactly. Something like that, yeah.
Okay, got it.
It starts with 1,000 minimum. So if you're a small team and a small company, we start with the 1,000 euros per month. But that includes really iOS, Android apps in your style, look and feel. The back end, so you don't need to do any IT integration.
Yep.
One of the biggest arguments for
I totally get the platform. I want to focus on other things just for time's sake. So put this on a timeline for me. When did you launch the company?
We launched the company like around 3.5 years ago, based on an MVP project, which we did really with our internal resources. And then we started, and then suddenly first clients came, and so it really grew by we haven't done any financing round. Completely bootstrapped this. We were looking into financing round next year, but having some experience, I believe the later you do the first round, the better.
Well, so how many customers have you scaled to today?
So we have like around 15 customers today.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. So
15.
So if they're paying the average you just gave me, that puts you at about 35,000 United States dollars per month. Is that about right?
Yes, that's about our MRR.
And what are you growing at? So a year ago, what were you at during MRR?
So a year ago, we had I would say 10,000 or so something. So it's like the thing is, since we don't spend any marketing, so it really goes through mouth to mouth at the moment, since we're not funded in the way that we are aggressively marketing. But at the very moment, we're relaunching our website, introducing new features. So in Q4 this year, we're looking into more aggressive marketing to have more growth.
So if you do raise, how much do you want to raise?
I think we want to raise around $1 million in the first round, because in the end, evaluation is very much depending on growth and MRR in our business. So we hope to get the first round based on at least 40 to 50,000 MRR monthly.
And so what valuation would you like to raise at an ideal world?
That's in an ideal world. I think we would definitely look into something between 6-7 million.
So maybe raising 1 million on 6 million when you're doing 40 or 50 grand a month in revenue.
Something like that. And I think we have a good clear cap table, because as I said, we haven't done any financing.
Are you the sole owner? Do you have co-founders?
I have a co-founder, yes.
Okay.
So we are only 2 guys in the company. And as I said, I have an agency. So we are quite a few people. So we have a lot of resources and experiences with building apps and platforms for big customers since 7 years. So that's of course a lot of experience we are bringing in here.
Sure. And so tell me more about the kind of unit economics. Churn is obviously critical. What's your churn today?
Churn at the moment is very low. I think it's we just lost 2 customers, smaller customers. All the other customers still there. So we see in that business, and it's hard to really have other platforms. So once customers implemented the platform, we haven't seen big churn at all at the moment. It's more
two logo churns out of 15 total customers is actually a lot of churn. But let's talk about the revenue churn, because if they're small customers, it doesn't matter. So net revenue. What I'd like to know is over the past 12 months, what's net revenue retention annually?
We lost 2,000 euros a month. So it was really the smallest customers.
And how much did you gain from those same, again, net revenue retention annually?
Yeah, net. You mean in total, or what we gained last year?
Yeah. So we're right now recording this in September, right? So if you go back to September of 2017 and you take all the customers that signed up in that month, and then subtract out the ones of those that churned, and then add back the revenue that you expanded those same customers, what's net revenue retention?
I think it's around over this whole year. You mean?
No, net revenue retention measures kind of cohort basis, right? So it's basically a measure of, is your expansion revenue greater than your churned revenue?
Yeah, no, it was I think our the revenue we gained was 5 times higher, even in that month. So, but as I said, the thing is we have a long sales cycle, which is one of the key challenges we are having. Is we have it's enterprise business, we have just enterprises, so sales cycles are between 4 to 6 months at least in most customers. Bigger customers, we even have longer sales cycles, so it takes quite a while to ramp up, which is one of the key challenges we're having. So that is actually at the moment it's just gain traction.
So what's the team size today? How many people?
We're 12 people at the moment.
Okay, so, and how many are focused on sales or marketing?
Sales and marketing is 2 persons now at the moment, really completely focused. But those persons just started 1 year ago. So just to give you an idea, in the first years, we really invested a lot into the product, just gaining very slowly and now more aggressively into the market.
And where is everybody based?
We are all based here in Berlin, but we also have developers in Ukraine. So we do nearshoring because just doing development in Berlin got very expensive, very difficult. We have I think, pretty interesting stack using React Node. But we more or less now like really growing developer base in Ukraine. We have 2 teams there, and that works quite well.
Are you measuring like CAC and lifetime value yet, or is it too early?
It's too early at the moment.
Got it. Very good. All right, let's wrap up then with the famous 5. Aiko, number 1, what's your favorite business book?
The hard things about like the latest one from Ben Horowitz. I think it's the hardest thing about hard things.
Yep. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
CEO. It's like, of course, I'm following Andreessen Horowitz and all these Andreessen Horowitz gang. So I really appreciate what they are saying. Really, really interesting from founders' perspective.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your business besides your own?
Slack.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
I would say between 5 and 6.
Okay, so not bad. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
I'm, I have a girlfriend, but not married.
Okay, not married, no kids?
No kids.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 43.
43. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Passion never fails, I would say.
Guys, passion never fails. Again, launched the company back in, launched back in 2015. Again, tchop. Think of it like a Google Drive, but add in like RSS feeds. It's not just files. It's more than that. So these teams are managing their things internally. They've got a team of 12 people between Berlin and other remote locations, nearshoring, building the tool out. Currently 15 customers paying about $2,300 per month each. So doing about 34 grand per month in revenue. That's up from 10 grand per month about a year ago. So 3x year over year growth. It's too early to talk about churn, CAC, and LTV, things like that, but they're looking at scaling, hoping to do maybe $1 million round on a $6 million pre-money valuation later this year or early next year. Aiko, thank you for taking us to the top.
Perfectly summarized, Thanks a lot.